Hey guys, welcome to episode 10 of Super 6 Predictions. It's now the FA Cup 5th round, meaning that whoever wins will progress to the quarter-final. So before we move on to round 40, firstly, massive well done to Maidstone United, who are the lowest ranked side left in the competition. They're currently in the National League South, which is the 6th tier of English football. They're up against Coventry tonight after causing a big cup set, winning 2-1 away at Ipswich. That's what this is all about, cup sets. It's great to see the underdogs do well against higher league opposition, and who knows, it could happen again tonight. So anyway, let's check out last week's summary. To put it this way, I had almost every outcome correct except one, otherwise I would have got the average 12 points. However, great win for Fulham at Old Trafford. They left it very late to do so, with Alex Iwobi scoring that goal to silence the home fans at the Stratford end. You love to see it, especially if you're a Liverpool fan. Plus, to make it even sweeter for them, they won the Carabao Cup yesterday. So overall, a great weekend for Liverpool fans. By the way, if any finals pop up on Super 6 that goes to extra time, the app will only accept the full-time score, hence why I got 2 points since it ended in a draw. However, Liverpool's only goal came in extra time, which I had, but in normal time. So either way, I'll take it. But yeah, it was a great final to watch. Both sides had good spells of possession, a number of great chances, even some tackles flew in, which is obviously expected in a cup final, being all physical and feisty. However, two things though. How on earth Caicedo got away without being booked for that ankle breaking tackle on Gravenberch, I'll never know. Plus, Van Dijk got his sweet revenge on VAR by scoring an extra time, which is justice served. So anyway, let's move on to the first game. The Geordies face a trip to Lancashire, hoping to win and progress to the quarter-final. This is the other most realistic chance of them winning silverware this season, now that they're out of the Champions League and Carabao Cup, plus they're still miles away from the Premier League title race, so they're going to want to prioritise on this. Meanwhile, Blackburn sit 16th in the Championship. I think around 2 or 3 weeks ago they hired the same guy who got sacked at Birmingham despite being in the playoffs. Yeah, it's literally that same guy. And it wouldn't surprise me if Blackburn picked up more wins and points by climbing up in the Championship table. But Newcastle will want to bounce back after being battered 4-1 against Arsenal at the Emirates. So I'm going to settle for a 2-0 Newcastle. If there's going to be a cup set in round 40, this might be the one. I feel Luton have a good chance of doing so. They've got home advantage. Plus, the way they performed against Liverpool at Anfield in the first half, when they were 1-0 up, was very good. And if they can perform like they did in the first half against Man City, but for 90 minutes, I don't see why they can't. But at the same time, they're still in relegation. They're now 4 points behind Forest after Everton's point deduction was reduced from 10 to 6. So they're going to have to prioritise on staying up. I feel an FA Cup run is unnecessary for them. And yeah, they're going to have to focus more on the league. But that's if they're serious on staying up. And personally, I think Luton, that's what they should do. Just focus on the league. Forget about the FA Cup. They've done very well to reach this round, but not against Man City. So I'm going to edge it 2-1 Man City. I feel if Chelsea's game against Liverpool didn't go to extra time, this would be a more straightforward prediction. I looked at Chelsea's team sheet after the match and I noticed that 7 of their players who started played the full 120 minutes. So Poch will have to make changes by rotating the squad to give other players more game time to prevent further injuries. As for Leeds, they're in a really good league position. However, their fourth round game against Plymouth also ended in a draw, which went to extra time too. And obviously Chelsea are a better side than Plymouth. So I feel like it'll be close, but only because of Chelsea. They might pick up some fatigue at some point during the game, and Leeds could take advantage of that. But I'm still going to go for a home win, 2-1 Chelsea. This same fixture, but in the Premier League, ended in a 2-1 Forest win, and they're looking to do a potential double over Man United. Don't write Forest off. They're starting to play well as a team. They've already scored 4 goals in their past 2 games, and they did put up a good fight despite losing 4-2 against Villa. Plus they've got home advantage, so they'll try and make that count. As for Man United, they struggled without Rasmus Højlund, which was clearly the case against Fulham. He's their talisman. That's who they rely on for goals. And without him, who else will they rely on? Yeah, I think when I mentioned a cup set earlier, that's what I'm going for here. 1-0 Forest. Something doesn't quite make sense about Wolves. How did they manage to score twice away at Spurs, yet only once against Sheffield United at home? They're going to have to do a lot better than that to beat Brighton, and yeah, you can tell I'm not convinced. Yes, they did win, and they can carry on that positive momentum going into this game, but with all due respect to Sheffield United, a 1-0 win against them, especially at home, is pathetic. And as for Brighton, they're going into this game in very similar form. They sealed a very late draw against Everton. Despite having a man sent off in the 81st minute, they showed some great character and spirit to get back in the game and seal a draw. Yeah, I see this being as a close game. I'll give Wolves a goal, but not a win. Not after that win. So maybe I'll go for a 1-1 draw. Just like I said before the Chelsea game, this one would also be more straightforward had Liverpool not gone to extra time. Firstly, massive well done to the youth academy players who made their first team debuts in the final. I mean, to be brought on in a major final against a really good side to grind out a win and get their hands on that trophy is a great achievement, which is something they'll live with forever, and they're, of course, bright stars for the future. But anyway, I looked at Liverpool's team sheet after the match. 5 of their players in Kelleher, Van Dijk, Endo, Elliott and Diaz all started and played the full 120 minutes. So I can imagine them being dropped to the bench for this game just to have a rest, to feel more fresh for the weekend. As for Southampton, they've lost their last 2 home games, both being 2-1 against Hull and Millwall. And they're now going to Anfield, hoping to get something out of this game. And with the squad that Klopp has at the moment, he's got a few key players out injured. And it was brave on him to bring on the youth players in the final. But I just feel if, Alisson, Trent, Szoboszlai, Nunez, Jota, Salah, if they were all available for the final, none of the youth players would have played. But anyway, I can imagine the same youth players who made their debuts will also play in this game too. So yeah, Liverpool will have fatigue here and there. Yeah, I'll just edge it 2-1. Those are my round 40 predictions locked in. Feel free to leave yours in the comment section down below. Any likes would be much appreciated. And of course, subscribe to keep yourselves updated with the latest content. Hope you enjoyed the episode and thanks for watching. Have a good week.